So the decider is almost up. It's going to be, of course, on random frozen times, so just chosen from the maps that have some kind of snow on them, except Jotunheim. And we are going to be seeing a bit different game, of course, because Thomas Shelby is not going to be fooling around anymore. He's going to be switching into his favorite Loki, whereas other players are. Legend Jarl is still Odin, as it worked, why not? Mikahei is still Oranos, Trolloc also Zeus, so don't expect any kind of switch on SonsOfDurin's side, whereas HerroOP is still random. I would be kind of expecting that he might be switching into something a bit more reliable, as they are right now on the precipice. They need to be a bit more careful than just play randomly, whereas Miracleman sticking with Oranos, that of course makes sense as well. HerroOP still thinking he should be going random, exactly. I'm thinking not. It's just a bit too huge risk, I'm thinking, at this point, because SonsOfDurin have definitely proven that they can beat them. And he's switching into Odin. Okay, so basically to counterplay his opponent Legend Jarl, who is switching from Odin into Thor. Okay, and HerroOP seems to be basically mirroring him. But yeah, won't really matter all that much. Yep, no random got right now for HerroOP, so we should be seeing all players playing their mains and basically playing to the toppest of their abilities. And we are seeing Midgard. That's a pretty good map for a decider that will be testing players properly. Oranos, Thor, Zeus, Loki, Oranos, Thor. And let's see if Trolloc Zeus is yet again going to be a powerful addition to the team of SonsOfDurin, as he was in the last game. So Dwarven Mice, of course, being cast right off the bat, as would be expected from both of the Thors, going for pretty much the same build-up and build order in the very early game, as we are looking at Storehouse being built by Trolloc at the very back, so not really going for the a bit more effective, efficient and effective, that's pretty much the same strategy at the start, where you could be using the stragglers and you can see saving a whole lot of them and saving a bit more extra wood for some more fishies at the start. No, he's going into the wrong way. He should have been going to the bottom. Into the corner, of course, into the corner of the map on Midgard. That's where you want to go with your first dock, but he didn't. And let's see if he's gonna get lucky or not. I'm slightly worried that he might not be. Looking at HerroOP, who was going also not really directly into the corner. But for him it makes slightly better sense. Because he's hoping that he can be a bit more into his opponent. I'm not exactly thinking that Trolloc is thinking the same way. They are kind of close to each other. Interesting. It's a rather interesting spawn, really. Unusually close to each other. We're going to be definitely interested if the dock placements are going to be working out for both of these players and the rest of the game. The rest of the players in the game as well. So far it seems like that for blue is pretty much fine. For the green player on the other side of the map, basically the same. We are looking at pretty decent placement of dock for Miracleman and a whole lot of fishies for him to take advantage of, whereas Legend Jarl so far seen at least one. It should be at least two, I'm thinking. But still, not really all that ideal, so let's wait a few seconds once the fishing boat is ready. And he's unfortunately having just a few orcas. So yeah, they've probably eaten all the fish in the waters on the left. In the meantime, we are looking at that Trolloc is really not having all that lucky spawn of the fishes for him, so he's definitely going to be fighting for the fish with HerroOP. Probably going to be quite intense fight between those two, and I'm kind of interested if HerroOP is gonna go for second dock Sundown soon, which sometimes you see for Norse. It's not really the case so far, but I would be expecting it exactly. He's going for the two dock start. Going for the two dock start, and let's see how well he will be able to fight against a Deus on the other side of the water. In the meantime, we are looking for a lot of hunt and a lot of gold that is just now being discovered by Mikahei, who is pacing with his oracle in the middle. And the second one is already waiting for a bit better line of sight. And well, Miracleman is also arriving near the opponents and to check out what the map on their other side of the island looks like. In the meantime, some relics, villagers kill animals in single shot. With the amount of walruses, it's actually not that bad. Could be saving a lot of damage into the release. Looking, for example, how Legend Jarl is finishing with the cows. He's going for a bit more efficient build order than, for example, what the Zeus Trolloc was going. You can see pretty much the same with HerroOP. So they are playing literally the same. It's going to be interesting to see the difference in the game going forward, as the second dock has been built a bit more to the bottom, which makes a whole lot of sense, and you can see it's definitely paying off as he's having 5 fishes right next to it. Yep, this is much more into the corner, and he's going to be owning a whole lot of fishing spots in the corner of the map. We are looking at pretty much advanced time right now for Miracle Man, who is already finished with this temple, and after this villager should be advancing. We are at 3:30. Sending the cow to be basically butchered pretty soon. We are also looking at temple being dropped by Thomas Shelby, who is having pretty fun spot in here, as he's also trying to make use of the temple to basically build an artificial wall. But I would be kinda careful, because you mustn't forget he has Thor against him, which means forest fire, and it could be pretty dangerous, for example, on this spot. And especially if he does have buildings too close. This shouldn't be too close, I'm thinking. Shouldn't be too close, but it will basically open him wide open. He will be wide open once this forest is gone through forest fire potentially. And that definitely wouldn't be something that will make his game any easier. Well, HerroOP going through Freya already, as he has dropped the temple as well. Also pretty good candidate for forest fire. His position on the wood line. And we are looking at Trulock, who is just now getting ready to advance, as he is already with temple up, and should be advancing through Athena, of course, as is usual. For Greeks, not only on water, but also against Norse players if they are hoping to basically go for some, I don't know, early raiding, or maybe just normal Athena rush. Prometheus for Miracle Man, as we are going to be expecting Prometheus for Mikehei as well, coming through pretty soon. The Thors are kinda slowish, 40%, 76%, so the Legend Jarl is going to be pretty much slower, and he's having 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 fishing boats, and we are seeing 4, 8, 9. So that's one less, as he's, or rather, it's like maybe 12. So pretty much the same as he's finishing with the third dock and going already for the long boats to fight against his opponent at the bottom. Prologue is established with 2 docks, with the third being built in the basically more to the corner, so that he's more efficient with the fishes. Definitely makes sense in here. But he's still going to be a bit more seconds before he advances into the next age and is ready to build some 3MS and fight on the water as well, because HerroOP was quite a lot faster, and of course he's going to be having advantage in the numbers reasonably soon. We are also looking that Mikehei is right now scouting at the back of the opponent's bases, as we are looking at... Oh! Unfortunately they fell for it. They cast it on the wrong part. Yep. It isn't a good forest fire. Should have been definitely cast on the one at the top, which is much larger and would be opening the base a whole lot more than just this one at the bottom. So yeah, that wasn't really lucky at all, and we are waiting for HerroOP when he's going to arrive in the opponent's base and decide when he wants to cast the forest fire of his own. I'm not exactly sure where that will be. This is actually not bad, because it's going to be open and radiant on the woodline, or rather on the berries as well. So potentially could be useful for him, as we are looking at the water battles. Still not really happening all that much, but we are not really seeing all that many boats from Trulock. You can see that he's building inside the docks, but that will also mean, of course, that HerroOP will be very easily killing him all around. And forest fire has been cast, even though Trulock was attempting to be faster with the bolt on the Valkyrie. Fortunately, not fast enough. So that means that Trulock right now will be having a bit of a downtime in the economy on woodline, which is, of course, going to be just making the situation worse for him on the water. Even though now you can see that he's out of wood, he is still trying to make at least a few boats. He's not really wholeheartedly fighting for it. Whereas at the top we are seeing that Legend Jarl and Miracle Man, they are definitely 1v1 in it on the water as much as they can. So yep, let's see how long it's going to last them before we are going to be seeing the purple player from the bottom basically arriving from the other side in the battle, because I don't expect that either blue or the yellow player are going to be really fighting for the water all that much. You can see Trulock right now is at least establishing himself that there's going to be some effort needed from HerroOP, building some extra 3MS, but the numbers are just impossible right now. So we are right now looking also on the land, where there's a bit more battle. Thomas Shelby is going basically quite fully into raiding with his Loki. But he is facing both Trulock and Mikehei, who are going for a bit more raiding than would be suitable, favorable for HerroOP, we are definitely looking at pretty nice attempt at some kind of push. You can see not even having enough gold for the dwarfy, the purple player. And how many actually military buildings are we looking at with true lock? As the battle is definitely going as will be expected. Are we going to be seeing towers being researched? So far not. As we are looking at just one military academy, really? Oh, yeah. That's kinda weird. But he's sending villages somewhere forward, so that could be either a TC, or he might be wanting to build some military buildings right next to his opponent. Not exactly sure. We're gonna see pretty soon. It's going to see it look like. It's looking like that, with Mika sending absolutely everything into the middle. Miracuman seeing exactly that. And Relic for the villages, getting the animals in single shot, still very much on the ground. So yeah, this is probably going to be full-on fighting between HerroOP with Thomas Shelby against Mika and Trulock. Whereas at the top we are seeing basically full-on water battle against rather between Legend Jarl and Miracleman, with Miracleman quite convincingly winning. And well, that's of course pretty important because he's going to lose a whole lot of extra echo in here. That's really helping, especially with the Pulsane being in. That will just speed up the demise of the water echo. Oh, unfortunately somebody's bugged in here at the top. Yeah, he needs to be moving somewhere. So unfortunately these boats are not really working for him. Yeah, that's definitely unfortunate, as he's losing out on the economy in there. In the meantime, we are looking at Legend Jarl, who has already switched into basically land battles quite a lot sooner than Miracleman, because he has recognized Legend Jarl that the water battle is lost. So he's already in, and well, let's see if Miracleman is going to be fast enough to do anything about it, because at the bottom, we are yet again seeing a pretty huge army from Mikahei already, getting quite feisty. Nothing could be said about Thomas Shelby, who has just finished with second DC, same as Mika. So they are basically all equal. We are going to be waiting for the mythical spawns coming up and decide the battle for Thomas Shelby. VyOP for Miracleman. So that's of course not here, that's right here at the back, as he's trying to basically protect his home base. And the second DC being built at the back from the Valkyrie, which is right now succeeding, as Legend Jarl, unfortunately, just now, a bit too late, was switching his attention to this point. So that's definitely not great, but still, not anything all that tragic, all that much. Relic for cheaper myth units, actually a pretty nice one. As we are looking the Oracle trying to scout what's happening behind the bases, but he's gonna pay with his life for that, and he doesn't stop Legend Jarl from finishing with the DC. Yeah, those dudes definitely won't be arriving in there, but they are interested in the front DC themselves. In the middle of the map, which is definitely good placement, and let's see if he's going to be disrupted by someone or not. I'm thinking not, because red is going somewhere to the middle and the right side, whereas actually the green army is coming a bit more to the middle. Maybe even thinking about the TC himself, because that's a pretty huge army right now, as we are also at the same time looking at Trulock, having the villages kill in a single shot captured but not really deposited yet, as HerroOP is right now switching from being under pressure to applying the pressure on Trulock, who is at 2 TCs, same as HerroOP, and probably attempting to jump into Heroic Age somehow. With just one archer range, one military academy, yeah, that's probably not going to cut it all that much, as Bragi is already coming in for HerroOP. Pretty decent rating, of course, on the spy, the gold miners from Legend Jarl. So Thomas shall be doing his job as much as he can, as the TCS of course finish in the middle, which means pretty good foothold the middle of the map for Miracleman, also next to the gold, so yep, pretty good job on taking care of that. In the meantime, of course, on the water we are not seeing all that much of a fighting, as it was decided a whole lot earlier. HerroOP for some reason allowing Trulock to get it from those 5 fishing spots. Well, if it suits him, why not? But in the meantime, of course, Miracleman is just cleaning up, getting rid of all the economy from Legend Jarl, and going to be pretty soon continuing to the bottom. But not before he's caught up with by Legend Jarl, who is still not giving up on it, even though he definitely seemed like that he would. So a lot more effort for Miracleman is going to be needed. Even though, oh man, this is probably Raiden or Mikahei. He's going to lose all of them, because he unfortunately hasn't been paying enough attention, hasn't built Manor to at least protect them, so that's already 3 of them dead, I think. With the last one potentially getting into safety, but probably not for much longer, because of course he's at just 50 hit points, so that means that he should be getting even lower quite soon. Right now though he's attempting a front DC. He's attempting a front TC right next to Trulock, which has been attempted to basically be stolen by HerroOP, who was trying to cheeky it, build some military buildings right next to it. But he's also pushing through the right side because he is already through Bragi, so he can build hill fort, and he's of course going to be having pretty big advantage above Trulock, who is so far not really going into the next age, and he most definitely doesn't have the economy. As you can see, he doesn't have even enough food for the release. Of course, hill fort is right now up with heavy Ulfsarks already, so heavy infantry and bronze weapons. So that's pretty great upgrades for him, as we are looking at pretty great army in the middle, as Miracleman with Thomas Shelby are getting ready for the assault on their opponents, and of course stealing the TC as well. So green right now through Bragi, with no upgrades. That's kind of expected from him, as he invested so heavily into army. We have some copper shields from Miracleman, whereas Mikahei is having also copper shields, so pretty much the same. It should be reasonably equal battle, and decided by better micro and some better shockwaves. Definitely seemed like better shockwave for Miracleman. Yep, don't really see enough micro, and especially not enough more Milos. As we have seen reinforcements just now arriving, which is a bit too late, but with this Cairo Ballistic can switch in, and Legendia are going to be helping as well. Oh yeah, this is turning the tables around, and not even the Hersirs are going to be enough to deal with this, even though they did succeed with stealing the TC from their opponents. Of course, this is going to be super crucial against Hersirs, those Cairo Ballistic. But he needs to be a whole lot more careful with them. Right now he's gonna lose them. And that's horrible. Oh, that's such a big shame. He should have just retreated, but he was probably looking somewhere else. I'm not exactly sure where. He's finishing with the TC in here, and otherwise he doesn't have all that many fights either. So that's really a bit of a shame. They could have saved at least that one, and that would have been a bit better army for the next fight. In the meantime, of course, we are seeing that Miracleman is eating into Legend Jarl. He's having one extra TC and is basically killing the gold economy of his opponent quite a lot. Oh yeah, those guys have nowhere to run, especially with the spy on them. It's pretty tough time for him, and we are looking right now towers, at least for him, for the defense. And is he through already or not? No, he isn't. He's still in Classical, so you can see all three Samlets are in the Heroic Age, whereas all three Sons of Durin are still in the Classical Age. Not ideal at all for them. Still no Teia coming up for Mikahei, as he's trying to clean up and finally finish with the town center. Turlock right now, a few more military buildings, a few more idols, as he has just been finished. As he has just finished with a gold mine, but he's also under pretty heavy attack of Rams, which is unit you don't really see all that often, especially this early. Sometimes you see them through Baldur, of course, with all the upgrades extras in Mythical Age, but right now it's not even that. And you can see that the Wars, together with the Rams, are going to be getting rid of the front TC of Trulock, and HerroOP is right now having field day against Trulock. Yep, definitely missing the Odysseus, who is right now trying to fight the piggies. Come on, one shot. It's one shot left, but he's gonna receive all the help that he needs from Mikahei, who is going to be helping him and basically putting a stop to any kind of raiding that HerroOP was attempting to do on the town centers and basically the whole economy and such. In the meantime, though, Legend Jarl is losing a TC, because since his teammate, as we are looking at restoration being cast, and Mikahei is right now helping on the right side, he cannot help on the left, which means that Legend Jarl is fighting both against not only Miracleman, but also against Thomas Shelby, and that's just a bit too much. And of course, he's definitely paying for it. Chaos coming in, coming up for Miracleman. And TC getting stolen yet again by Thomas Shelby, and we can see that Trulock is right now resigning, because he's seeing that this battle is not going to go well for them at all, as they are not going to be beating HerroOP soon enough, and on the left the battle is basically definitely lost for Legend Jarl, who is not up to par with what was coming on him, and that would just basically spill over into Mikahei very soon, and on Trulock as well. So GG. Yep, they did. Just those three though, not the rest. The rest was okay, so it was unlucky, but definitely not what would be deciding the game. Well, that's usually fixed by different dock placement.
Yes.
It's usually fixed by that. But at any rate, it definitely wasn't something that would be the reason why they lost. Samlets simply played all that better, and they are advancing into the finals of the bad luck bracket, 2-1, so congratulations, pretty good job. So let's check the post game. Miracle Man, well, kinda more like how Thomas Shelby played. Was having such a huge army so soon. He played it very well, and that basically stopped the attack from Mikahei and Truelock on HerroOP, and that was the crucial turning moment in the very early game. See the strong economy from him overall. Just 4 upgrades, 6 from Legend Jarl. Yep, that also hurts. And still, all 3 actually till the end of the game in Classical Age, whereas their opponents were at least heroic, Miracle Man already mythic. But that's of course through the bonus of the water economy, but it's not like Mikahei didn't have it for quite long. He was actually having water economy for a long time, even though his flanks already lost the water. Doesn't really have all that much of a reason not to be at least in Heroic Age now, at 16 minutes when the game ended. But still, pretty good presence in the offensive, and last game, that was definitely one when he shined in. So yes, GG.